This is Christine Robinson from the Argus Foundation here with your local government report for the week of April 6th, 2020. First, I would like to note that the agendas for the local governments are growing larger. For instance, the Sarasota County School Board has 39 items on their agenda, and their backup materials are 278 pages long. The Sarasota County Commission has 27 items, and their backup agenda is 772 pages long. The Argus Local Government Report highlights some, but not all, items on the agendas. We choose things that we find informative to citizens and businesses. You can access full agendas and backup materials through each government's website. And now, your local government report. The school board is next scheduled to meet on Tuesday, April 7th at 3 o'clock p.m., which is a change from their calendar as posted as of last week. The public can participate in the meetings by listening to the meeting live or calling toll-free numbers as listed on the school board agenda. They will also receive comments by email up until 2 p.m. tomorrow at the designated email on their agenda. The second agenda item is the superintendent search as presented by the school board's consultants. The consultant has reported that in order to maintain the current superintendent search timeline, the school board would have to agree that the online community and staff surveys that closed on April 2nd would take the place of the community and staff live forums postponed due to COVID-19. They need to discuss a salary range, which was previously discussed at $195,000 to $240,000. They need to determine qualifications in education and experience. They need to finalize advertising venues and preferably get a brochure for marketing. If the current timeline is adhered to, implementation of all these decisions mentioned and advertising would begin 2 days after the school board meeting, which would be Thursday. Among the 29-item consent agenda list are approval of an agreement that sets the terms between the American Boat and Yacht Foundation for the donation and use of marine outboard engines as training aids at Suncoast Technical College. There is also a consideration of a 3-year Lambda Rail contract with Sarasota County with renewal options for a 100 gigabyte research and education network that traverses the state of Florida. This is payable at $87,728 annually for what is described as internet and peer networking services that enables faster access and less bandwidth utilization. Cyber threat mitigation services are also provided. Another item on the consent agenda is an amendment to an agreement for the purchase and sale of a site for a future school in central Sarasota County. This extends the due diligence period for another 2 months for this purchase. There are 12 piggybacking contracts for approval for just under $2 million total. Some of the larger contracts include contracts for the purchase of an electronic key management system for fleet, classroom, office, and specialty furniture, books and educational materials, and audio, visual, and accessories. Finally, there are several project completion acceptances for design and pre-construction contracts at several schools for school resource officer security and registrar offices. On the regular school board agenda is an emergency policy for school board meetings that ends 90 days after its adoption. This temporary policy waives the requirement for a quorum to be present in person. It waives the requirement for meetings to be held in specific places and allows for the school board to utilize technology to conduct its meetings. Also on the regular agenda is a resolution that authorizes the superintendent to take certain actions as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. There are 7 authorizations in this resolution that expire on June 30th, 2020. Among the authorizations include entering into contracts past the superintendent's authority, taking personal actions, and taking any action deemed necessary to address the needs of the district or board in response to COVID-19 based upon any danger the superintendent reasonably perceives to the public safety or welfare. The Sarasota County Public Hospital Board has their next meeting on Monday, April 20th, when they have their Mission and Planning Committee, their Quality Committee, a closed session of the hospital board, and then a review of their financial and board reports in a meeting, and then their regular hospital board meeting. At the end of all of these meetings is the Physician Services Incorporated board meeting. The meetings start at 9 a.m. and are scheduled to go through 3:30. The City of Venice met last week and is next scheduled to meet Tuesday, April 14th at 9 a.m. They did cancel this week's Planning Commission meeting and their Architectural Review Board meeting. The City of Sarasota has canceled their regular meeting for today, but did add a City Commission workshop for today at 1:30 via teleconference. There are two items on the agenda. The first is listed as, quote, COVID-19 public health emergency, unquote. This item is at the request of Mayor Ahern Koch. City staff will update the City Commission on all related virus information, and according to the agenda request, quote, City Commissioners are encouraged by the Mayor to share their thoughts and research on the matter during the discussion at the workshop, unquote. There are no documents in the backup with this agenda request. The second item on the City of Sarasota workshop is a discussion on future City Commission meetings. This item is again at the request of Mayor Ahern Koch. According to the agenda request, the discussion will include an update from city staff on the status of holding virtual meetings. There are no documents in the backup with this agenda request either. The City of Sarasota has canceled all other advisory boards this week, including the Planning Board and Code Compliance hearings. The City of Northport last had a regular meeting on March 25th. They have canceled all meetings for this week, which include a City Commission special meeting, a City Commission workshop, the Public Utility Advisory Board, and the Zoning Board of Appeals. The City Commission is next set to meet on Tuesday, April 14th at 10 a.m. The Sarasota County Commission is scheduled to meet on Wednesday, April 8th at 9 a.m. in downtown Sarasota. On the consent agenda are 10 items. These include authorizing a public hearing to remove the City of Venice from the county's Emergency Medical Services Municipal Servicing Taxing Unit. This is as a result of the City of Venice deciding to take over EMS services. Prior to this decision, the city oversaw fire and the county oversaw EMS in the same firehouses in the City of Venice. This redraws the boundaries of the taxing unit to remove Venice and also removes the need for the county to impose and collect EMS impact fees related to the capital costs of providing EMS services. The changeover of EMS services to the City of Venice will occur on October 1st of this year. If approved, a new roof is coming to the Sarasota County Jail's East Wing kitchen area in the amount of $535,892.20. The roof was last replaced in 2003. It is a one-story flat roof and is at the end of its life, according to staff. Also on the consent agenda is a construction contract and services contract during construction for the Palm Plaza Force Main Redirect project. This is part of the Wastewater System Rehabilitation Capital Improvement Program for improvements to the county's wastewater collection system due to aging or inadequate infrastructure. This is for a 6-inch force main for 2,000 linear feet that will allow the flow to be redirected to further downstream in the collection system where the gravity sewer is deeper and can accommodate additional flow. And it will mitigate the potential of sewer overflows. This item also includes a contract for construction administration and field services. The contract for construction is in an amount not to exceed $258,000 and change, and the administration contract is for an amount not to exceed $208,000 and change. This will be funded through sewer rates. On the regular agenda is a discussion item to receive recommended business recovery options from the Sarasota County Economic Development Corporation and provide direction and necessary authorizations to the county administrator. At the March 24th County Commission meeting, the Commission unanimously requested that the County Administrator bring back to the Board a report from the EDC on the Economic Development Incentive Fund and provide strategies during this economic event. The EDC is still compiling their information as of this recording, so I have no information on their recommendation at this time. Also on the discussion section is a Visit Sarasota County update on the tourism industry response to COVID-19. There is no backup material accompanying the agenda. There is one County Commission public hearing to adopt a resolution amending the capital improvement program to add an emergency services warehouse at 1805 Apex Road and construction phase services for Fire Station number 13 on Siesta Key. This will involve a $6,234,000 borrow from the Pooled Commercial Paper Loan Program. Both projects came from various capital improvement and impact fee programs. The commercial paper borrow for the warehouse is $900,000 and it will be repaid by fire and EMS assessments. Fire Station 13 on Siesta Key, that borrow that will be repaid by fire and EMS assessments as well. Interest rates on the loan are expected to be 2.5%. Under the county reports section is a county administrator report on COVID-19. There is no backup material for this report. County Commission Chair Mike Moran has 2 items listed under his report. The first is titled Financial Crisis Management Due to COVID-19. In the backup information is a page list of bullet point items listed as topics for discussion on options for planning for the imminent budget and financial issues the county will face. Also is an attachment called, quote, Color of Money, unquote, which is a summary of revenue resources, where they come from, and what sources are restricted. The second item under Chair Moran's report is listed as, quote, Economic Development Incentive Fund, Child Care First Responders, unquote. There is no backup information available with the agenda. Canceled this week in the county are the Keep Sarasota County Beautiful Advisory Board and its subcommittee meeting, and also canceled is the Tree Advisory Council meeting. That is the Argus Foundation Local Government Report for Monday, April 6, 2020. Stay tuned for our Facebook and Twitter pages for updates, including posts with the Florida Governor's COVID-19 press conferences. Until our next update, be well.